Hey everyone, it's been about 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks since I got these Klipsch T3 True Wireless earbuds. And I thought my first video was just an unboxing and initial impressions after about a half-hour use. I thought I'd do an update video just to let you know the joys and the woes that I've had with this pair so far. I want to remind everyone I'm actually not a YouTuber. I'm just a guy who has these earbuds that there's virtually no information about on the internet. So I thought if someone's looking for earbuds and come across this pair, then maybe these couple videos can be helpful for you, so you can decide whether you want to buy them or not. I should say that I had to actually return the initial pair. This is the new pair right now. You see the seal is much nicer than from the first unboxing video. I was able to do it a lot nicer. I actually used my fingernail, which is now nicely manicured, sort of. The problem I had with my first pair is that when you put the earbuds in the case, so you have them out, and if you remember, there's this blue lights that are trying to pair with your phone. When you put them in, they turn red like that, and these LEDs turn on. And what I found with my original pair was that the right earbud, this red light would never turn off. Like, very rarely, like 1 out of 10 times or something. It will never turn off. It will keep drawing power from the case up until the power on the case was depleted. It was really, really weird, and it was really annoying. I'm no electrician. I don't know how that happened. I don't know where that power was going, but it was kind of annoying because when the case would run out of batteries, the buds would actually turn on and then connect to my phone, and my phone would have no sound. I mean, the sound would be coming through here. And when I got this pair, the second pair came in yesterday, and I found that the left bud then was having problems. Like I said, it turns on, it's blue, and when you put it in the case, it turns red, meaning it's turned off. With the left bud, when I put it in, the red light wouldn't turn on. And it would stay blue. I have to like fidget around and play with it until the blue light turned off and the red light turned on, telling me that the bud has actually turned off. And it was kind of frustrating. So I thought what I'd try to do is swap the two buds, but that didn't work because they didn't connect to each other. So what I ended up doing was actually swapped just the case. So these are the new buds in the old case, and they seem to work fine. I mean, this red light is still on. For whatever strange reason, I take it out for like a second, it needs to charge for like a minute. But I don't really care. It's working. You notice from the beginning of the video when I opened it, it was all off and everything. It's working fine now. So I'm quite pleased now. It's just that the first time, for whatever reason, the case is cut wrong, or maybe the quality control issues on these buds are a little bit funny. So if you do end up getting a pair, watch out for those things. I mean, the buds themselves still work fine. It's just they didn't charge for whatever strange reason. And one thing I didn't mention in the last video, because I didn't even know, and I've seen a lot of earbud videos, reviews, that talked about if you're able to use the buds individually. And so you can. So they do have a slave-master kind of relationship. So when they're in here, I mean, they're off, of course. And the first one you take out becomes the master, and the second one you take out becomes the slave. So the master is connected to the phone, and the slave is connected to the other earbud. And so if you had them both on, listened to tunes or whatever, and then you wanted to use one, if you put the slave into the case, no big. Everything works just fine, and there's no lag. But if you took the master and put it in the case and turned it off, the music will pause, and then you just kind of sit there for a bit, and then the slave bud will go bing, like connected or something like that, and then you can play music. Then you can hit play, and then things will be fine. So just whichever one comes out first is the master, and the second one comes out the slave. And if you put away the master first, the music will pause. If you put away a slave, then it's like seamless. So it's pretty nice. And I should say these don't have active noise cancellation, which I am completely fine with. Active noise cancellation to me, I think is a total gimmick. I mean, yeah, you don't hear background noise, but your music sounds worse. I kind of prefer to have the music sound good, and that be what drowns out the background noise. And like I said in my last video, I mean, the patented oval tips, I have to use the large because I have huge ear canals. They fit in really, really nice, and they're really snug, and they provide an awesome seal. The awesome seal gives better bass, and the passive noise cancellation is a lot better. And I know it doesn't sound like it should be, but for whatever strange reason, I mean, the rubber that they have on these things are crazy. They seal up real well. It's nice and soft and stuff, and earwax. And when you put it in, if you do it wrong, sometimes they would pinch in some way and stuff, and then it will actually block out the music. And so you would have to kind of adjust it to make sure that the seal is good and the music is still coming through the little music hole, whatever it's called, just so that the sound is coming through as it should, and the seal is around there, giving you the best kind of music experience. And I mean, they work really well once you get that right fit. And it does change the sound a lot. Like I've played around with the different tips many times since my last video, and I always go back to the largest ones just because they give the best sound, and the best kind of passive noise isolation. And I really like that. Klipsch doesn't have an app yet. They promised one since the release of the T5, like in the summer of 2019. It's like the winter of 2020 now. And so it's been a long time, and I don't know if it will ever come out, but the app, they promised that they would allow for audio pass-through, at least on the T5s. I don't know about these ones, but I'm hoping they will allow for audio pass-through on these ones, because the passive noise cancellation on these are so good that I was listening to music in a room, and my wife came in, and I didn't even hear her at all until she like shook me. And she said she was calling me for a while, and I couldn't hear her at all. That's how good the passive noise cancellation is on these. And you know, sometimes you want to block out the world, but a lot of times it's not that safe to do so. So it'd be nice to have some sort of audio pass through, so you can hear the outside world while still enjoying your music and stuff like that. So that's what I'm hoping for with whenever the app comes out. So if Klipsch is watching this, which I highly doubt since I'm not a YouTuber, but Klipsch, if by chance you're watching this, come on, put out the app, man. Like we need it. And after, you know, using these for a couple weeks, I did find that if I turn up too high, like up to 100%, between maybe I think 80% to 100% volume, it does get a little bit harsh, and then everything gets kind of not muddy, but I guess tinny, and I don't recommend these at high volumes. I do recommend from like 80% down, it sounds awesome. But once you get just past that threshold, all of a sudden, like the trebles and the mids start to blare just a little bit too much. I tried walking around the mall the other day with these buds, and the passive noise cancellation was awesome. I couldn't hear anybody walking around me, but because it is passive noise cancellation, that although I couldn't hear people around the mall, I could hear my footsteps like crazy, like going boom, boom, boom. And it was a little bit annoying. And I could feel the body sounds, like the vibrations through my body and stuff. And maybe I walk like an elephant, I don't know. But it did kind of make the music sound funny, and I didn't really like it. And this case, although it looks super small, I had it in my front pocket, and I tend to wear skinny jeans, that kind of thing. I couldn't put it in my pocket in any way that didn't look like a tumor. It just kind of stuck out quite a bit. So even though it's a really small case, and maybe you have bigger pockets than I do, or more loose jeans or whatever, or a bag, like a side bag or whatever, I don't recommend them putting in your pocket. I mean, they would be comfortable unless you had a jacket or something, but just on my jeans, it did feel kind of funny, and I felt like this little thing sticking in my pocket, it just looked funny. I felt I was very self-conscious about that as I walked around the mall. The battery life on these is awesome. Like, I think it says 6-hour battery. I don't know if you can see that. It says 6-hour battery and a 20-hour charging case. So that means you can like charge your buds about 3 times in here, which kind of makes sense. I guess there's like let's get those blue lights on. There's 3 blue lights in here, so I guess each blue light will be roughly 1 charge to the buds and stuff. And I actually listened to it at 80% volume for I think it was almost 7 hours. I don't usually listen to music that long, but I actually fell asleep. I was listening to them and I fell asleep. And what woke me up was that, like, the voice on here saying, battery low, please recharge, or something like that. And so it woke me up, and I was like, oh. And I looked at the time, and I was like, whoa, like 7 hours passed. So it lasted longer than what is promised here. But still, I mean, who listens to music 7 hours straight? I mean, I don't. But I don't know, maybe you do. But I mean, that's plenty of battery, and I think that should be enough for most people's needs. Oh, and I didn't mention this in the last video, but they do have the Clicky Buttons. I did mention the Clicky Buttons, but I didn't say what they do. And it's actually really, it's very, very well thought out. Very intuitive, I think. On the right bud, you click it once for pause and playback, and twice to forward a track. And on the left bud, you tap it once for your voice assistant, and then twice for go back a track. And then you hold down the right button to increase the volume, and you can go down, hold this down to bring the volume down. And I really, really like this because a lot of the remotes that I've had in other wireless headphones, it was only on one side, and it went up to 3 taps. I don't know about you, but 3 taps sounds kind of excessive. To actually tap 3 times, I was never able to really nail that, like 3 taps down. I'll get 2 and then 1, or then 1 and then 2, or something like that, or just 3 ones, that's really rare. But it was really hard for me to get 3 taps to perform that function. So the fact that these don't go over 2 taps is awesome. It is a substantial click. It isn't like super, super hard, but like you do have to make that click. So when you are wearing them, when you click, it does kind of push into your ear a little bit. Like I don't do it that much, and it doesn't bother me too much, but it might bother some because these, I don't know what they're called, stalks or whatever, they do go in your ear pretty deep to get that good seal for the best sound. And so you are pushing it into your ear a little bit. What I've been trying to do is trying to push on the end, so push it against like the flat part of my ear instead of pushing the bud into my ear, you know what I mean? And that seemed to help, but again, it didn't really bother me too much. So I mean, I'm pretty fine with that. I'm not, it's not a deal breaker for me whatsoever. I do prefer the tactile buttons over touch buttons, just because touch ones always seem to be too sensitive, for me at least, and that I accidentally do things that I don't want to do just when I'm adjusting them or feeling around with them. I tried the phone call quality on these. It says there's 2 mics with clear voice chat. I don't know if it means 2 mics, like 1 in each bud, or it means 2 on each bud. I looked around, I couldn't see any mic holes. I didn't really look that hard, I don't really care. But a lot of other reviewers always test the call quality because I guess that means something to people. I talk on the phone barely ever, and probably even less so when I have these on. But I tried it just to see how it is, and they don't sound that great. I mean, I don't think any wireless earbuds sound that great, and I can't see myself really using them to talk on the phone for any extended amount of time. I would more likely just take them out of my ear and put my phone to my face, like a regular person. So the call quality is not great. Be warned, if you do that kind of thing, it isn't that good. One of the big things I was really looking forward to in a set of wireless earbuds, and one of the features that I had to have was wireless charging. So I want to be able to put it on a charging pad and just walk off, and that'd be good. And that's one thing I really wanted to have. And the wireless charging here works flawlessly. It's been, I've been like basically only charging it wirelessly. I know it has the micro USB, which a lot of people aren't going to be happy about, but I don't care because I can just put it on the pad, like I said, and get going. I did find that the case was a little bit warm after charging, but it never got hot. And I've charged it for like all day. I put it on the pad and I went to work, and when I came back, it was warm. Like, it wasn't like cold like it is now, but it wasn't super, super hot that I would be concerned about it. I think that is about it. That's all the experiences that I wanted to share with you all with these earbuds, the Klipsch T3 True Wireless. I still love them a lot. It checks off a lot of boxes for me still. I wanted great sound, I wanted wireless charge, I wanted no blue flashing lights. like constant blue flashing lights, and it checked off all those boxes, and I'm really, really happy with them. So I'm happy with these. I'm glad that I made the purchase, and I will be keeping these ones because these ones work properly. So again, if you have any questions, any comments, whatever, leave them down in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Again, I'm not a YouTuber, just a guy that has these headphones. I thought you might benefit from my experiences and yeah, just what I've went through using these. Thanks for watching. Peace.